Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tasia, but you can also call me Tay, and welcome in. I'm so excited to have you here. Today is day 23 on Sprout, and I'm so excited because we are pretty much decorating in the very last big section of my island. So yeah, that's just really exciting. Pretty much everywhere else on my island is just small filler spaces that we need to do, which I think that's going to be a future video down the line, is just me filling in spaces around my island. But yeah, we are decorating outside of Papi's house today, as well as this big open space here in front of me. This is pretty much right behind Able Sisters, so yeah, I'm super excited. But before we get into it, I would greatly appreciate if you guys could like and subscribe. I would love to have you guys join this community that we are building here. Now, let's get into the video. Alright, so as I said, we are decorating in this area right behind Able Sisters up on this incline. I'm just going to show you guys pretty much the general vicinity of where we're building today. And also, today's video I've kind of edited in a different format, I guess, than what I typically do. It will be kind of a speed build, but it's not really sped up. It's more so me playing at a regular pace, but I just add in much more cuts in different scenes. But yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think about this format if you end up liking it. I could totally do this in the future for future speed builds or things of that nature. But yeah, it's much more sped down so you guys can see my process in a more realistic time. And funny enough, this video actually took me like 2 hours to do. I already built this area previously, but I tore it down so I could just refilm it. I do kind of like to do that sometimes because I don't know, I build better off camera and it takes less time for me to edit down the line. So yeah, I feel like it's kind of the best of both worlds in this instance, but as you can see, I've already placed down some road and dirt paths because we are going to be decorating a little bee-inspired farm here. So I'm using a lot of yellow flowers, I'm using the yellow pansies and the yellow hyacinths. I just thought they looked really good together, and we're going for a very like honey bee theme for this build. So yeah, it's kind of different from what I've done before. This is a very cute view and cute patch of flowers. I really love it. And here's where we start adding in our bee apiaries. I wanted to surround it with a few cosmos just to, you know, break it up from the yellow hyacinths and the yellow pansies. Also, today's build turns out very yellow. I feel like this is the most yellow across my entire island. I don't know, have you ever been on like islands where they're kind of broken up into different color schemes? I feel like that's what this was giving. Like, this was just my yellow section of my island. Which, you know, I don't really mind. I do have a bunch of different yellow tones across the island, so yeah. And also it's meant to be like a bee farm. I don't really know what else to call it besides that. I know bee farm probably doesn't make much sense, but there's a lot of bee inspo going on in this area. And I also loved putting down that white simple fencing. It just looks so cute. I wish I used this more across the island, but you know, I kind of pick my moments of where I use it. It's just really adorable. It's very underrated in my opinion. I would love to make like a prairie themed island where I would use that fence a lot. I feel like those two would go hand in hand very well. And speaking of fencing, I'm starting to add much more fencing around the area. I thought it'd be nice to frame off this little flower patch with the barbed wire fence, and I also tie in a lot of the wheat, or I actually don't remember the name of that fence. Is it hay fencing? Something like that. I wanted to sprinkle that in as well because it's also a yellow fence and I have a lot of yellow, as I've said. But also, as I mentioned, Papis Yard is going to have a lot of hay inspired items, so I thought it'd be nice to kind of blend the two together. And this is when I start adding in a few little details behind the flower patch. I just wanted to make it very farmcore, kind of rustic. So I have a little seating area with this rocking chair. I added that windmill. I'm just trying to add a lot of items that bring a lot of height into this area. So I'm just trying to incorporate different things, adding in all my bees, and it just looks so cute, I think. I really like that little cluster of items there. And I also decided to throw in a scarecrow right in the middle of the patch. I just thought something was missing there, but this is what the area is looking like. What do you guys think? I honestly love it. It's the perfect little filler, and I think it really fits this shaped area pretty nicely. I also wanted to include some ladders on the sides of the cliff here, and I'm also including some pathing. it's just like a little extension of land, so I felt like I had to do something with it. So I'll probably be doing some kind of beach decor down there, which is why I included 2 little ladders that can bring you down to the beach. Which, honestly, that's kind of cute. I've never had an island where you can like go down to the beach from the 3rd level cliff like that, so I'm kind of glad that my island had that just from the start. So now we are moving over to Papi's yard, and I do love the way that his yard turns out, but first I'm starting by extending this path over to this incline, and I'll also be incorporating some other pathing as well just to fill in the space. But here is how the road looks. I thought it's kind of cool. It doesn't directly tie to the bridge, but I did what I could given the shape of the terraforming that I had. And I start to move over to the back section of this build, and I really wanted to include some little ducklings and their mama duck, so I just thought that'd be a really cute viewpoint from the bridge. And here I'm adding in some dirt tracks because I'm going to be putting in, once again, another tractor. I feel like I've done this quite a few times across the island, but it just never gets old. It works so well. And I also wanted to add in some fencing because I'm also going to surround this area with some wheat fields, just because I think it looks nice, so I thought it would be best to have that area a little bit fenced off. I also decided to go with that yellow tractor because, you know, I feel like yellow is the theme for this build today. So here I am just popping in some more wheat fields, and I'm going to show you what it looks like from the bridge. I just love that. I love the view so much. You just see the little ducklings sitting and resting by the pond, and then just the wheat field and the tractor look so good together. So now next to Papi's house, I'm starting to add in a little horse stable in a way. I know Papi is an okapi or an okapi, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but I just, you know, he's like my horse villager on the island, so I'm kind of viewing him as a horse for this theme, even though he is not actually a real horse. You know, you get the idea. I just love him so much as a villager, so I really wanted him for this island, and I wanted to put in this little horse stable next to his house. 1, because it just looks really cute, and 2, I think the colors really go well with his house exterior, which I actually really love. I wasn't sure if I was going to change his exterior, but I think I'm gonna leave it like this, especially because this build is kind of centered around his house and all the colors just look good together anyways. And also the fact that his roof is already made of hay, I just, you know, it just looks good. It looks good. I love the colors. It's very different from my other builds, considering I'm using more like red toned wood. So I thought it was really fun. And also here I'm working on a little wheat patch, and we will also be including much more wheat field later in the build, but now I'm starting to move on to the pathing leading from my dirt road over to Papi's front doorstep. And I'm using my garden path again because it just is so perfect. I love it so much. I'm really glad I've been able to use this path across my island. I've always really wanted to use it. I don't think I used it on Gardenia, but I was very much considering using it there. It's just such a beautiful path, so shout out to the creator who made this garden path. I love it. You can use it anywhere on any theme. It's just so beautiful. I wish I knew who the creator was because I would definitely link them down below. If you know, definitely let me know in the comments. I love to give credit where credit is due. So yeah, let me know if you know the actual creator of this path. So now I'm moving on to different filler decor for this area. I decided to incorporate some more of the yellow hyacinths because I used it earlier in the build, and again I'm really trying to make these 2 separate areas feel connected and cohesive. So I'm using that. I'm using the wheat sprouts, I'm using the wheat fields and just hay beds and all the different hay things. I feel like what would have made this build even better is if we had some kind of like hay barrel item in game. I'm not even sure if that's the actual name of it, but for those of you who are familiar with like farms and things, those like wound up rolls of hay, that would have been absolutely perfect for this build. And you know what else I really wish we had in game is like a tumbleweed item. I think that would be perfect for desert core islands and even possibly farm core. I just think that would be such a fun item to have. Hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next game we get something like that, or just more items that really tailor to different environments that we could make, because We as Animal Crossing creators have really gone above and beyond when coming up with different worlds and themes in this game, and I would just love to see what people can make if we had such different items to use. So I would love that, as well as more like space themed items as well. I know there's a whole collection, but it would just be really cool to have different things in game that could tailor to different environments. So here I'm now working on this small little area next to the incline, which this spot really was difficult for me to decorate at first because it's just so skinny. It's a weird shape, it's right next to the river, and I wasn't sure what to do with it, but I ended up going with this. I just threw in some more wheat field and put in that fencing, kind of just to block it off from Papis Yard, and my favorite thing is including the little fences next to the actual in-game fences to look like a little garden gate, and I love it. I love it. You can never go wrong with that, honestly. And with that, I'm just sprinkling in a few more final touches around the build. I absolutely love how these two areas turned out. I think they're so fun and vibrant, and I just love this for Papi. I think he has the best yard yet on the island. But I'm going to show you guys a few clips around the area, so I hope you enjoy. So that is all for today's build. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed this video format, definitely let me know down in the comments below if you liked the slower pace kind of video. I could definitely edit my videos a little differently or just change it up every now and then. So yeah, let me know. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, definitely consider giving it a thumbs up. I would truly appreciate it. As well as subscribe if you guys would like to follow along with Sprout and the rest of this island. I'm so excited to show you guys what's in store. But yeah, with that everyone, I hope you all have a lovely day or night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!